Hi everyone, Sailor Mini Moon here, Small Moon, Little Moon, Reenie here, and Diana here. And today I want to talk about, is there a Sailor Moon saga? Is there a Yule Sailor Moon saga? And the answer would be yes and no. Well, the first answer would be no, because in the drawing show, whatever drawing show you're talking about, the 9 between 91 that ran from 9 between 92YL to 9 between 95YL, or the 2001 that went from 24 between YL till 2023 YL, there was none. And that would have to do due to there not being any of them in the books, which the drawing shown and drawing film would take freedoms with. You know, But I also said yes. And you're going to say, well, wait a minute, you said the answer is no. Well, yeah, for the drawing show, the answer is no. In the drawing film, the answer is yes. It's Sailor Moon, as the film Hearts on Ice or In Ice or whatever. Now, it is set somewhere in the 12th month. Don't ask what the date is, it's somewhere in that. And yes, we have snow, but I know snow doesn't always mean that it's at Yule time. It just means it's either in late summer and fall or winter. If you live somewhere and it does it. Now, in this film, you have Aldeline Cockaboo, which is not friendly at all, whatever her name is, who wants to freeze the earth. Did a long time ago, but then got casted out and he come back to do it again. And when we're fighting her snow steppers, yeah, that was her foot fighters. That was her foot fighters. And me and Sailor Moon are in a bind with fighting them. And then there's a red rose, and at first you think what is Santa Claus, but it shifts out to be some kind of blimp that has reindeer binded to it and a sleigh. And Tuxedo Mask shows up as Santa Claus. And then he said, wish for a happy Yule and a happy New Year, and then gives his speech afterwards. So, yeah, that's like the nearest thing you get to being a Yule outstanding, because there truly isn't any of them. And I know a lot of folks would scratch their heads and say why that is not. Now, I can give you some guesses, but the only nearest guess I can come up with is that since there wasn't anything in the books, which the drawing shows and the drawing films were offshooted from and took freedoms from, that's most likely why I wasn't in it. Well, that's my guess. I know some folks out there are going to have their own answer for it or their own guesses to it. What do you think? Well, you could be on to something, Reenie. You could be right, Sailor Small Moon, Little Moon, Reenie. At the end of the day, since there wasn't any saga in the books or any tale in the books about it, that is most likely why there isn't any in the drawing show, and why there might be some in a drawing film, if the drawing films, and there were only 3 of them, if they were following books or not, or they were their own thing. And some folks are going to bring up and talk about, well, not everybody does Yule. Well, that's true, because a lot of folks do their own holy days. Yes, there are folks that do their own holy days, and that's true. You got the gathering of lights for the Jewish folk, and then the Islamic folk have their own thing as well, and on so. And then there are the black folks who don't see themselves as Christendom, and then instead do the gathering of followership. But even if it had to do with the unlikenesses of folks' holy days and their for their worships, I don't think that was the grounds of it. You know, for whatever the grounds was, it just wasn't. And Sailor Moon, the Sailor Moon S to film Hearts and Ice, is the nearest thing you come to what you can say is a Yule outstanding saga of Sailor Moon. Even though it only has that one thing with Tuxedo Max as Santa Claus in the beginning, and that's about it. And yes, it's set somewhere in the 12th month. You know, we just don't know when. So yeah, I don't know if there is a. I think that's the only nearest thing you can say that is a Sailor Moon saga, a Sailor Moon Yule saga. That's like the nearest thing you can get from having one. Well, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you'd be right about that, Diana. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the nearest thing you're going to get to a Sailor Moon Yule Outstanding is that film. But that really hasn't stopped folks from doing follower tales or lover tales or whatever you want to call them. Because I know there's most likely ones out there that have made a Yule Saga, and how Isa and Dwayne has done many of them as well. So, yeah. But why there isn't a true one is beyond me. You know. And I know I just brought this up earlier, but someone's going to say, well, it wasn't in a book, so that's why there wasn't any in the drawing show or the drawing film. And maybe that's true. But if Toei took a lot of freedoms with doing the drawing shows and drawing films as they did, then, you know, they could have made one, even if it would be handled as a standalone and it wouldn't be offshooted from the books in any way. They could have done it, but they chose not to. So, give me your thoughts on this. Tell me what you think. You know, share it, playlist it, thumb it up, and we'll see you later.